corner of this dimly lit bar, I trace your smile in the amber light. The piano plays a song we used to know. Some memories just refuse to fade. The smoke still lingers in the air, a gentle reminder of those days when we had nothing but each other, and that was more than enough. Pour me one more for the road tonight, warm and bittersweet and sad.
The candles burning low tonight, and the rain won't let up outside. I've been sitting here since 9, counting hours, losing time. The bartender knows my name, knows I'll stay until the flame burns itself down to the end. Just me and the shadows again. One more glass before I go, one more song I used to know.
The candles burning low tonight, and the rain won't let up outside. I've been sitting here since 9, counting hours, losing time. The bartender knows my name, knows I'll stay until the flame burns itself down to the end. just me and the shadows again. One more glass before I go. One more song I used to know. Midnight rain on the window pane, washing away the day. I pour myself another drink and let the music play. The saxophone cries a lonely tune that sounds just like my heart. Some songs remind you of someone who tore your world apart. Bartender wipes the counter down. The last few patrons leave, but I'll stay here until the dawn. There's nothing up my sleeve. Just midnight rain and this old refrain.
These velvet hours between midnight and dawn are mine to keep and yours to move on. I hold my coffee cup with both my hands and try to understand. The city hums a lullaby outside. A saxophone somewhere begins to glide through all the things we left unsaid. The music fills my head. I've learned to love these quiet nights alone, with jazz and candlelight to call my home. No one to answer to but me, and everything I used to be. Velvet hours slipping through my fingers.
I got whiskey in my glass tonight, and regret upon my mind. Been sitting here since sundown, leaving everything behind. The piano player knows my story. He's played it every night. The same old song of someone who couldn't get it right. I should have said I loved you before you walked away. Instead I let the silence say what words couldn't say. Now every song they play in here reminds me of your face, the way you laughed at nothing much and filled up every space. But there's something in this music that makes the pain feel fine, like every note's a memory of yours that's now just mine. Whiskey and regret, the only things I've kept, pouring slow into the night. She left in October, when the leaves were turning gold. Took the warmth of summer with her, left me in the cold. I still hear her laughter in the jazz they play at night. The saxophone keeps singing what I couldn't say was right. She had a way of listening, like every word I said was something worth remembering long after I'd gone. to bed. I kept her favorite coffee cup, the one with the small crack. Sometimes I fill it up at night, pretending she'll come back. Now October comes around again, and I find myself here in this corner of the bar we loved, nursing one more beer. She left in October, I'm still here in December, waiting for a spring that feels like her again. They're playing the last waltz tonight. The dance floor nearly empty now, just shadows moving in the light, taking their final bow. I remember when we danced here to this very same old song. You held me like you meant it, like you'd hold me all night long. The violins were sweeping, the saxophone was low. You whispered something tender in the amber afterglow. Now years have come between us, and oceans wide and gray, but every time they play this song, I'm back in that cafe. Of you, the saxophone plays softer as the night is almost through.
The last waltz is always the saddest one. Hold me closer before the music's done.
Another glass, another night alone. The rain keeps falling on the cobblestone. I've been sitting here since 9:30, watching strangers leave while I drink my wine. Bartender nods, he knows my face. A regular ghost in this familiar place. No one asks me why I always stay. Just the music helps me through another day. The candle burns down to its final hour. The saxophone still has its quiet power. I think of roads I chose not to take, of promises I made and chose to break. But here the jazz forgives without a word, the most honest sound I've ever heard. So pour me one more before I go back to the rain and the streets I know. In the corner of this jazz bar, nobody knows my name, just the saxophone and whiskey washing out the pain. Another night of sitting here, watching the world go by, in the corner of this jazz bar. I don't even ask why. One more song, one more glass, one more night. That's all I ask.
The candle flickers on the bar tonight. Your empty chair still caught in candlelight. I order one more drink I shouldn't take, and listen to the song we used to make. The pianist plays is the melody we knew. Every single note reminds me of you. I trace the rim of my glass so slow, remembering the nights from long ago. The rain outside is tapping on the glass, like fingers counting all the years that passed. I wore the dress you always said you loved, the one I swore I'd thrown away and shoved. But here I am again in this old place, with shadows where I used to see your face. The waiter smiles and brings another wine, as if he knows I'm living in rewind. Here in the corner where we used to sit, the music plays, but nothing quite fits. I close my eyes and for a moment then I almost feel like you're here again. The saxophone cries what I cannot say, the things I should have said before you went away. Here in the corner of this rainy night, I hold your memory in the candlelight. Stay a little longer, just one more song. Stay a little longer, where we both belong.
The bartender knows my usual odor well. The story written on my face to tell. I've traded conversation for this stool, a quiet man who plays the midnight fool. The ice dissolves like all my best laid plans. I warm my soul with whiskey in my hands. The couple by the window laugh and shine. The happiness feels almost like a crime. I used to be the man who had it all. before the silence came before the fall. A house, a name, a reason to come home. Now just a bar stool and this saxophone. The music fills the spaces in between. The man I am and who I could have been. But jazz don't judge and whiskey don't lie. Just honest sounds beneath a neon sky. One more song before I go. One more drink to face the cold. In the corner of this jazz bar, getting quietly old. Nobody sees the weight I carry here. Nobody hears the things I cannot say. One more song before I go. Just one more night to stay. The night is long, the glass runs dry, the music plays, and so do I.
Smoking saxophone and neon light. This is where I come to spend the night. Not for company, but just to feel something in the music that is real. The other tables fill with pairs and friends, while I sit here where the bar stool ends. A glass of red wine and a quiet song in this corner where I still belong. The pianist catches my eye and smiles. He's seen me here for quite a while. He plays the songs that reach inside, the ones I used to keep my heart alive. I never told him what the music means, the soundtrack running through my private scenes. But somehow in the dark he always knows which melody to play before I go. Here in the smoke, in the soft low light, here where the music Just this jazz bar corner, every night the same. The saxophone speaks what words never could, says all the things I wish I understood. Here in the smoke and the soft low light, I find my peace in this corner tonight. Just the music, just the night, just this corner, just this light. Last call at the bar, and I'm still here. The pianist is packing up, I fear. One more song I whisper to the night, one more melody before the light. He smiles and settles back upon his stool, plays a song for every midnight fool, for everyone who stayed a little long, for everyone who needed one more song. I'll leave when the music finally ends, when the last note fades and silence bends back into the ordinary sound of footsteps on the rainy underground. But right now in this last remaining song, I am exactly where I should belong, in the corner with my empty glass, watching one more beautiful night pass. Just a little more time tonight. One last song in the fading light. The saxophone sings its last goodbye. The piano notes float up and die. For this corner of mine, one last glass of this beautiful wine. Good night, jazz bar. Good night, rain. I'll be back here once again.
closing down, the lights go low. The bartender's giving me the sign to go. I down the last of what remains tonight and button up my coat against the night. Outside the rain has softened to a mist, the kind of night that leaves you feeling kissed by something you can't name but always know. That feeling when you're ready now to go. Leave my usual tip and say goodnight. Step out beneath a cold and misty light. The saxophone still echoes in my chest, a soundtrack for a man who needs his rest. Tomorrow there'll be reasons to go on, new reasons for another dusk to dawn. But tonight belonged to jazz and rain and me, in that familiar corner where I'm free. Good night, jazz bar. Good night, old friend. We'll meet again before the next week's end. Good night, whiskey. Good night, rain. Good night, music that absorbs my pain. I walk home slowly through the quiet street, the music still alive beneath my feet. Good night, jazz bar. I'll be back again. Same corner, same old whiskey, same refrain. Same corner, same old song, same old me, where I belong. The last man left an hour ago. Just me and the bartender and the radio. He wipes the counter slow and hums along to the fading echo of the final song. I wrap my coat around my shoulders tight and think of all the souls who passed tonight. Each one came here carrying something heavy,
each one left a little more unsteady. This corner held 1,000 quiet stories of faded love and long forgotten glories of men who stared into their whiskey glass and women watching summer turn to past. I am just one more shadow in this place, one more pair of eyes, one more tired face. But the music gave me somewhere I could breathe, somewhere I could quietly believe that everything will find its way somehow, that the rain won't always fall like now, that the saxophone knows something we don't know, that beauty lives in places dark and low. This jazz bar held me when I had no words, when silence hurt too much to be endured. And so I'll come back when the night grows long, this corner, back to this song. Thank you for the music, thank you for the night, thank you for this corner, thank you for the light, the glow so soft and amber through the whiskey and the rain. I'll carry this inside me until I'm here again. Good night, corner. Good night, song. Good night, jazz bar. I'll be back before too long. Good night, rain. Good night, night. Good night, night. Good night, music. You made everything alright.
Rain has found its rhythm on the roof. Another night I'm sitting here alone. The whiskey glass a silent kind of proof that some men never quite find their way home. I've watched 100 strangers come and go, each carrying their own invisible weight. We nod and pour and never really know what brought each lonely soul here quite so late. The pianist has played this song before. I recognize the way his shoulders fall, as if the music opens up a door to somewhere far beyond this smoky hall. I order one more drink I shouldn't take, and let the saxophone speak in my place. For all the words I cannot seem to make, for all the things I cannot quite erase. Here where the night is always deep and long, here where the whiskey understands my name, here where a man can disappear in song, and no one asks you why you always came. The neon bleeds its color through the rain. The music fills the spaces in between. I'll sit here till the last note fades again. The quietest man this bar has ever seen. One more glass, one more song, one more night where I belong.
I came here first when I was 23. A different girl in somebody else's coat. The bartender looked right through me, as if I were a fading music note. But years have passed, and now he knows my name. He pours my drink before I even ask. The corner table always looks the same, the jazz the same, familiar gentle mask. I've brought my sorrows here like old suitcases, unpack them slowly in the amber light. I've worn 100 different kinds of faces, left them all behind on different nights. never judged the things I carried. The saxophone just sang them all away. Whatever I had lost, whatever varied, the jazz was always here to help me stay. This corner is the truest home I've known, more honest than the houses I have kept, more gentle than the seeds I could have sown, more tender than the promises I've wept. The candle and the whiskey and the rain, the music playing soft against the dark. I come here when I cannot bear the pain, and leave here with a little lighter heart. Years from now, when I am gone, someone else will sit right here, listen to the same old song. Let the music dry their tears, and the jazz will still be playing in this corner of the night. Generations softly swaying, everything will be alright. Still here, still singing, still the rain, still this corner, still my name.
The city never sleeps, but I am tired of all the noise that fills the daylight hours. This bar, this jazz, this amber light desired more than all the world's remaining powers. I've lived a life of ordinary things, of morning trains and deadlines and of duty. But here at night, the saxophone still sings of something deeper, older, more like beauty. My father used to hum a song like this before the world grew complicated fast. A melody of something I still miss, a simpler time that went by far too fast. The jazz remembers what we tend to lose, the quiet dignity of being still, of of sitting with your thoughts and paying dues to all the nights that time alone can fill. So pour me one last drink before I go back to the life that waits on the other side, back to the world where I pretend to know the answers that this music keeps inside. But I'll carry something with me when I leave, a melody that no one else can hear, a reason in the darkness to believe that beauty lives wherever we are near. Thank you, jazz bar.
Thank you, rain.
Thank you, whiskey.
Thank you, pain.
Thank you, music.
Thank you, night,
for making everything
feel almost right.
almost right,
Almost whole.
almost whole.